Check this out, somebody actually got me this giant Gamera figurine just because I talk about these movies so much. Look at how huge this thing is, it's ginormous. It's specifically based on the 1993 film, Gamera 3, The Awakening of Iris, which I'll get to that in due time. So yeah, this is a pretty neat little piece to my collection now. Alright, let's just get this movie over with. Gamera Super Monster, the final entry in the original Gamera series, kind of. This film came out 9 years after the last entry, but you never know that because this is basically just a greatest hits collection for the big guy. This film is universally considered the worst Gamera movie ever made, and sometimes even one of the worst kaiju films ever made. There's just really not much to this one, but let's take a look at it anyway. You'll often hear people say that this movie is cashing in on the success of Star Wars and Superman, and yeah, I have nothing new to add there. The plot, or at least what the film claims to be a plot, revolves around 3 space women who are secretly superheroes trying to protect Earth from an alien menace that just so happens to fly in an Imperial Star Destroyer. They work together with a piano-playing kid and somehow manage to bring Gamera into the mix to fight off the aliens' army of giant monsters. Nothing is very well explained, including where Gamera actually came from, since this film has no continuity with any of the previous entries. I guess the space women or the boy somehow brought him into existence, but it's never made clear. Pretty much all of the scenes with Gamera are stock scenes from all the previous movies. The aliens' monsters are literally just every single enemy Gamera fought in all the previous films. You start with Gauss, and then move on to Zigra, Virus, Jiger, Giran, and finally Baragon. No monster is left out. In a way, I suppose that does make this a good highlight film, since you do get 6 movies worth of monster battles squeezed into just one movie, but the battles are short, so it mostly just leaves you wanting more in-depth monster action. The very few scenes with new Gamera footage are probably the most questionable parts of the whole film. I have no idea what the significance is, but a few times throughout the movie, one of the characters will dream of Gamera, and by that I mean it plays stock footage from a few different anime series that cuts back to the exact same shot of Gamera several times for no clear reason. Seriously, this is just footage from Space Battleship Yamato and Galaxy Express 999. Apparently, one of the producers of this film also worked on those series and was somehow able to include them here as, I guess, some sort of cross-promotion. I don't get it. These scenes don't add to anything other than this movie's obvious lack of a budget. This was the first entry in the series after the original Daiei film went defunct. After they declared bankruptcy in 1971, ironically the same year as the previous entry in this series, the employees rioted, and pretty much all of the costumes from the Gamera series were destroyed. Making new costumes was beyond this film's budget, so stock footage was the only way to gain monster action in this giant monster movie. Genuinely, reading about the production of this film is more entertaining than the film itself. So the film was pretty much doomed from the start. By this time, kaiju movies had somewhat fallen out of style. Godzilla had been dormant for years and wouldn't be back for a while longer. Gamera hadn't even been relevant for almost a decade. Television was the home for Rubber Suit Tokusatsu at this point. So a new Gamera film that had absolutely nothing new to bring to the table just was not what the people wanted. Gamera Super Monster is just not worth your time. I would only suggest this one for real diehard fans of kaiju movies. All others, my advice is to just not even bother, unless maybe you're just looking for a good laugh. But with that, we are officially done with the first series of Gamera films. Next time, we're going to take a look and see how the series made the transition into the Heisei era, a radically different time for kaiju movies, and the point where, in my opinion, Gamera finally started to earn a little bit of respect.